Hi guys and welcome to a new Train Sim World video. In this video we're going to have a look at the BR155 in DB red livery, how to start it and how to stop it. Okay, right, so we're going to climb aboard the train. Right, as you can see there's one corridor that hasn't got any further, so you've got to go to the one that's got the actual long corridor. We're going to head over to the middle section, turn on the battery, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go to this little switch here and turn it on, so we've got the corridor lights. Right, so now we want to set the auxiliary compressor to automatic, turn on CIFA, check PZB's on mode M and turn it on. Right, that's all for this cab, for this section. Now go into the rear cab, turn on the power for the screen. I'm just going to change its contrast. We can release this handbrake and put the oops don't know what just happened there. Put both rear headlights on red, which we can of course verify externally, and then oops, both set to red. Now we're going to head over to the lead cab, turning off the corridor lights on our way. I'm going to open the window. Right, now I'm going to sit down. I like my seat nice and high. Oops. So it's best getting up. And I'm turning the seat up. There we go. So I'm going to turn on my screen and put the contrast on dark. Okay, if you needed to change the contrast on the GSMR, you can do it as well. Right, now we're gonna put we're gonna turn on the brake key, and we're gonna turn on the gauge lights and the control lights and desk lights. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the dial lights. Oops, turn on the dial lights and test all the LEDs. So now, because they're all functional, if I put it into forwards, PZB should appear. Yes, it does. Perfect. Because this locomotive is older, well, let me actually turn on the headlights. It doesn't have any automatic pantograph selector, so you can select that back in where the CIFA selection switch was and PZB. There's a 185 next to us. If you had snow and you need, I explained this in my 185.5 video. Which is a bit of a disaster. If there's snow on the overhead catenary, you can use both pantographs, the first one to scrape it off so that the second one can get a decent voltage. But, because it's a nice day, as usual, just... Oops. This train's moving a bit. Right, so our pantograph is now up. The minute I close the circuit breaker, that HS house light will disappear. There you go. Oops. And turn on the transformer together with the compressor on automatic to charge the brakes. Now put the driver's brake valve on release, apply the direct brake, and I'm going to put my braking force selector on about 60% and my traction selector on 50%. There. Because we're going to couple up, I'm going to actually release my handbrake now, put my reverse on reverse, release the direct, and just give it one notch. I'll explain you how to notch up in a minute. You must all... There. The locomotive is now moving. Be very careful, as it's very powerful. You must only use tap 1 when, or even maximum 2 when you're going to be doing delicate operations. There we go. Sorry about the drone of the 185.2. There we go. Couple up. Right. We're now going to release the direct brake and apply the driver's brake valve to full service. And the reverser to forwards. Right. Actually, back to neutral, because we're going to turn off the tail lights. Tail lights off. And I'm now going to explain how to notch up. Right. I'm going to release my brakes. So the first thing you've got to do is release your brakes. Then I'm going to put on my traction on about 100%. It's quite a very long train, so please it could be U, but it's fine in M, because even though it's quite long, it's got very good braking. Right, so now that our brakes are released, there is two methods of notching up. Let's see. As you can see, no, that's a rubbish view. The wheel can be turned this way and that way. If I turn it to the left, I can notch up, wait a minute, tap by tap, all the way to 30. And all the way back down, with a limit on 30. Then we can put it in hold, and then you can go up and go up by notch up by like on the class 86 in Britain, and then down it's like goes, you can hold it in down, because up is springed, down is not, and then you can just put it in 0. Right, but so that you can see the two ways, we're now going to release the brakes, reverse forwards, wait for the brake pressure to go down to 0. Right. That's a bit annoying. The sun's so bright. Never mind. We're going to have to do it from my normal view. If you can see that dial there, it's now on 0. We're going to first try off with the easier version, which is just go tap by tap. It must never exceed around here. Okay? So if let me just check, is it really... There, look. Can I turn? Yes, perfect. Right, so it's right now it's on 0. If I put 1, you can see the newtons go up. Mustn't be on more than that there. So 2 in this case was enough to get the loco moving. If not, you're just going to slip. I'll show that to you in a minute. And then as the newtons go down, you can carry on tapping up. And another. Pass the signal, just in case. Give it another. There we go. There you go. See? It's slowly gaining speed. Another. It's quite a rough method of control, the tap changer, but still. And another, and then you might want to give it 2. That's, you never want to go past the 40 mark. And now if you just put it back to 0, you can see the newtons go back down to 0. You can see the active taps on that digit there. Right, now I could notch up to 30, so I'm gonna, if you see I put it to notch 4, it's very little, so once you've got some speed you can turn it up a few notches. There you go. See, that's quite a lot now, so I can put it about 10, and I know it's going to give me some pull. And now that I've got a coast, I just coast it. Now let me stop the train. Sometimes if you see the needle going this way, it applies the rheostatic brake, which is kind of the, there you go, it's done it now. It's like the dynamic brake for electric trains, but it doesn't make the most of the power accumulated. What's the signal? It's a shut signal. Okay. See, so now it's now using the rheostatic to help us slow down. There we go. We're on minimum braking, by the way. Wait a minute, let's just wait for this passenger train to pass. Right, so we're going to release the brakes. And now I'm going to show you how to do it with the other method. Now you can see my tap change is currently on 0. We're going to quickly notch down twice into hold. Now we're going to give it 1. So you're just going to have to. There you go. You can see it's a lot more rough this way because you just don't control the numbers individually. There you go. Another. Whoop, a bit much. It's not as easy as in the other way because here you've got to kind of. It's got spring. So wait a minute. Let me stop the train. Right, so if you see that if I was to notch it up completely, let me put on the traction on a lot. If I now put a lot of tractive effort and put it on up and leave it on up, you can see that the newtons got vastly. So I'm going to slow it back down again. So I'm going to show you what happens from the outside if you do that. Wait a minute. There you go. So if I now go from the outside, the brakes are now released. See the wheel? If I was to now leave it in up, so put it on hold, now I'm going to hold it in up. The taps keep on going up until the wheel slips. I'm going to do this using a different camera so that you can see it better and it stays on the wheel. Right, so hold. Not, by the way, no, it's always got to be in 0 when you stop. What's that? Watch the wheel spin. See, it's spinning really fast. Not actually going that fast, as you can see, until it reaches a speed, and then you just put it on 0, and then you see the speedo go right down. So you can put down sand, but evidently that's how not to drive the train. So now I'm going to put the brakes on. On a lot. So you haven't got to be waiting all day. For it to stop. Release the brakes. Right. So I'm going to do it from this camera now, and I'm just going to show you how to do it one last time. So you're just going to put it in hold, and then notch up 1, notch up 2. There we go. She starts moving. It's not quite enough because we're. One more. There. There's a lot of newtons going through there, so you've got to be really careful. Notch down if you can. If you stop while on hold, you've got to reset to 0. There we go. This time. You've got to be careful because she's putting a lot of newtons because it's a very heavy load. Are on a slight gradient. There we go. So see it from here better. There you go. Of course you can always just put it back down to 0 and notch up using the other way, which is of course a lot easier and the way everybody uses. See? So now the locomotive is a lot easier than there you go. It's a lot easier to control. Give it another. A little bit more. Put it up to 10. There you go. Really long freight train passing. It's a bit If it's hot, which it is, you must always set the traction fan, the cooling fans to on. I'm now going to set my traction to 15. My temp, I mean. And now to 20. By this way, the locomotive also manually adjusts it so that it doesn't get an overload. And now I'm just going to put it up to 30, which is its top number. You can hear the traction motor starting to whine a bit. There. You can see she's starting to get some speed. Right. There you go, and she's limited at 120 by the way, she's now getting up to tap 30, which is now the top amount. And she shakes around quite a lot at speed. And now you can bring down the tap to about 15. There, and hold the speed. I brought the tap down. There's a lot of cars we're carrying. One load of massive cars. That is one big load of cars. Bring that down to 10. If we're on a downhill, as we are, you can notch down completely. Just gonna telling me to put the train line on. I will. Now I'm going to notch down to about 5. As you can see, I've still got the traction motor fans on. It's not necessary to have the transformer, but always the traction motors. Give me up to 10. As you can see, it's quite a cumbersome loco to drive. And this video is going to be a little bit longer than usual because we're going to go up to Lauflash and I'm going to show you how to get up the Spessart ramp. Oh no, sorry, I can't because it's the wrong way. Okay, so now we're going to take it up to 120, which is the new limit. So we're going in the wrong direction. So as you can see, we're now giving it tap 30, which is the locomotive's top power. I'm taking it up to 120 kilometers an hour, and here we're going to post it. As you can now see, the tap indicator is going back down to 0. It's quite a wobbly loco to drive. I'm going to close the window. Right. Pretty much just coasting at this point. Looks awesome. Right. Well, I think we'll be, oh, we're passing a train. We'll be stopping at the, going over a flyover. We'll be stopping at the, oh, I think we've got it, no, okay, do we have to acknowledge something? Oh yeah, there's a massive gradient, put on the power. There we go. Putting on the power. It's taking quite a long time to get the taps up. Let's go back up to tap 30 and put it back down to tap 10. And hold it there. Oh, there's another train passing. Let me just capture the shot. It's a doppel-stop train. As you can see, our train is a lot longer than his. In fact, it's vast. I'm just going to show you one last thing. Wait a minute, let me power up a bit more, up to 20. There is an emergency notch on this, but the emergency brake is just as easy as opening the brake pipe using backspace or just press it, which is what I'm going to show you. As we get into law. When we stop at law, I'll show you. So I'm just going to coast it now because we're going to come into law. So put the tach changer back down to 0. Right, so law's there. We're on a minor gradient, so I'm just going to let the train coast. You can see the speedo. Right, I'm going to, because we're now approaching the station very gradually, I'm going to open the window again. I'm going to initial application of the brakes. There we go. Get a smooth braking stop. Just get a white. Yeah. I'm coming into law. So it's my favourite station on the line. Slow down quite a bit more, and I'm now going to show you the emergency brake. So put it in release, and I've got my hand on the emergency brake. So just as we come around now, and I'm just going to put the controller into emergency. There. You can see the newtons of braking is maximum on the rheostatic. The braking isn't great because it's a very old locomotive, which is why you must always stay clear of the tracks. Because we're now stopped, we can turn off the traction motor fans, and I'm going to close the valve. Put my driver's brake valve into off. Open the door, and this will be the end of the video. Let me just actually put my handbrake. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this rather long how-to video. It's on one of my favourite German locomotives. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.